In this episode, I'm going to talk about how I get research for my imaginary friends, where I get them from. Well, the first place I go for getting information on imaginary friends is the news. I'll get like current events from the news and I will make a scenario for my imaginary friends from the news. For example, um, if I do America, for example, I will do like Space Wars and I will talk about, say, Trump in America screwing things up with Martians and stuff like that. Another place I look is I troll social media. Not all the time, but most of the time. I won't just use social media. If it's my imaginary friends, I'll go and look on other places on the internet to read about places where I can go and look for my imaginary friends, right? Um, I then talk to people and get past events and change them into future events. That's what I used to do when I was at school. If I found out something really cool from a history book, I would change it and sort of revive it and make it, you know. Um, those are the main sources. Now, I do use video games, so I use The Sims for research. I won't say use The Sims video game as like my inspiration. I'll take something from the Sims game as inspiration and put it into a story about my imaginary friends. And Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto has a lot of research in it. The politics, the not it's not just the violent stuff. I kind of like the other stuff that Grand Theft Auto seems to offer, like the geography of Grand Theft Auto, the politics of Grand Theft Auto, the other stuff like that. And then there is other stuff, and then there's just other bits and pieces alone to get inspiration from. You know, like um, listening to other people on YouTube. Um, do their stories, and you'll go, "Oh yeah, I like that. I'll do a video on that. I'll do a video like that." You know, so then you sort of do that sort of thing. Um, I don't know, just reading a lot of stuff, and then there is just weird and wacky stuff. You know, like you'll read something somewhere, and I go, "Oh yeah, I could do a story on that." So yeah, excuse me. You know, so yeah, I could do a story on that, or I could do I don't know, whatever it is that you could do on it and go, this is, this is what I'm going to do on this. And you archive the information that you have on conversations you've had with people, or information that you just get from people, and you archive that information, and that information then you use that to put into your imaginary friends. Like Greybank Village it came up because I was doing this project ages and ages ago. It was a picture I'd seen somewhere. I can't even think about the picture. I'd seen this picture, and someone described it to me, and I thought, wow, a fictional village. And then this fictional village just built up, and and then Greybank Village was like this place that, yeah, and Greybank Village, it was just kind of, it was born from there, really. And that's where Greybank Village came from. The whole of Greybank Village, not just a little bit of Greybank Village, the whole of Greybank Village came from. And then I started making up stories about some of the things that was happening in Greybank Village. But that was just like, and I was watching a few westerns at the time. Those westerns were, I don't know, somewhat important. Anyways, and so that's basically where the stories came for my imaginary friends. That's where all of the tales and stuff for my imaginary friends. And I was really intrigued and thought, I'll make those tales, I'll make those stories, I'll make those happenings. And so that's where those happenings happened, and that's when those stories came out. And yeah, so now you know where a lot of my research comes from. But if you've got any ideas, or you've got any stories you want to share, leave them in the comments, and I'll make a video or a story about my imaginary friends. Okay, bye for now.